Hi, my name's Kavita Bedford and I'm the author of Friends and Dark Shapes, which came out in Australia with Text Publishing earlier in 2021. It follows an unnamed narrator who moves into a share house 1 year after her father passes away. And it deals with a lot of issues to do with gentrification and how to have a home and what does it mean to have a home for millennial generation. But in the backdrop, it's very much navigating how we deal with loss and grief in a city where sometimes it can be really hard to find a way to connect with each other. It came out during the pandemic as well, so it's been quite interesting because a lot of the themes of the book, while they're about Sydney, are quite universal in nature in terms of finding connection and what we're grieving in a changing city as well. So I'm just going to read you a short little excerpt from it. Nikki tells me she keeps dreaming her teeth are falling out. We have been to dinner and are now walking past the social housing and workers' flats that sit rumble-tumble proud on High Street, Millers Point, and passers-by can't look away from the chalk protests on the footpath. Are we a society or a developer's wet dream? The wealthy of Walsh Bay say, let our neighbours stay. Nikki says in the dreams her teeth crumble into her hands when she runs her tongue over her gums. She can feel these vestigial, knobby lumps. What does it mean, she asks. It's creeping me out. I tell her that listening to other people's dreams has been proven to be more distressing than visiting the dentist. She hits me. This area was once slums, where the wharf workers lived, and then in the 1980s they turned it into public housing. The houses have one of the most prized views in Sydney, over the harbour. But now, because of the Barangaroo casino developments, the tenants are being asked to move on to make way for the new face of Sydney. Nikki says it makes her sad that people seem more concerned about how this city looks than how this city feels. This is a beloved home, one house declares. What have we become, says another. We board the train and pass stations where some crucial foundation is always being excavated and reimagined. Giant cranes swing across the million-dollar skylines. Jackhammers accompany the work commute. Scaffolding and tarpaulins cloak the CBD like some Christo work. Walls are knocked down to re-envision warehouses in Alexandria. It feels busy and purposeful, like it's part of a bigger plan. Change is progress, they tell us. Building contractors swing from ropes and tumble out of demolition sites, conquering the unsuspecting city with their authority and easy camaraderie. Sometimes I watch the trail of high-vis vests scurry between the spaces in building zones as everyone rushes past them and think with awe that they are the only ones who can really feel how brutal this city is. On the weekend, my grandmother tells me that she dreams of the jasmine attar from her home in India. The women in our family wear the booty scent, and it mingles with the salt-whipped breeze of the Sydney coastline. At her place on the North Shore, the mustard seeds pop and turmeric stains the faux marble countertop as she explains to me how the family of kookaburras has been growing in confidence and is now attacking the wisteria on her balcony. She tells me she still dreams of her childhood home and that flowery smell, but now everyone is so scattered across the globe that she can never dream of living there again. It belonged to a different time, she says. The real estate section in the weekend newspaper shows pictures of eager first home buyers lined up for house inspections on the same cracked pavement near our house where the Indigenous protesters are now camping. The caption reads, Talia and Matt eager to buy their dream home. In the mornings, I often pass the protest camp en route to the train station for work, smiling, head bowed, unsure. Reporters roam up and down the site. The banners scream, if you don't let us live like Aboriginals, then what use is democracy? Nikki and I walk back home from Redfern station. The painting on the wall across from Redfern station is in earthy colours and reads, 40,000 years is a long time. 40,000 years still on my mind. We walk through the concrete park that has been reinvigorated with plants and stylishly exposed beams, and I can smell the eucalyptus and the protesters' campfire. The park slopes downwards, so when you're standing at the top, it reveals the skyline of the city centre. Centrepoint Tower juts above the office buildings that bathe in their squares of light, while a wall painted with the Aboriginal flag sits brightly in front of us. Thunderstorms have been predicted for later tonight, and we both squeal as we feel the heavy drops that signal the beginning of a downpour. Kids run around barefoot and excited, and we watch as the protesters run to zip up their tents and unfurl the tarpaulin. We listen to their shouts and giggles, and then there is a loud slushing sound as a puddle of water from the tarp is tipped onto the ground and drenches everyone. Once, after he became ill, my father told me that his nights had become quieter. He would lie awake listening to the rain drum on the roof. I asked him if he thought it meant he was at peace with the idea of death. No, he said. I don't feel like this is my time. But I can't sleep. And I just can't dream the way I used to.